So I guess we have the complete panel and people will keep on joining. So we'll not do any further ado since we want to keep it in time and cover all bases. So I'll just get started. First of all, thank you everyone who's joined on time and definitely the speakers who did not make anyone wait. To get started with, this webinar is all about driving customer engagement through voice and WhatsApp, two major channels that we use in everyday life when it comes to business and as a consumer front as well. Now, this webinar will cover all the aspects from WhatsApp's and from MyOperators, that is voice plus WhatsApp. And definitely we have the user story of Karan, who is using voice plus WhatsApp platform to enable customer engagement on his business. This webinar will last largely for 40-45 minutes, beyond which we'll have a Q&A session. So this is for the participants. You guys can continue asking your questions in the Q&A section or the chat box while the speakers are taking their sessions. And all the questions will be answered towards the end in the Q&A section. Okay. Now, let me take just one moment to introduce who all are in the screen in front of you. For me on top is Rachit Jain. He's the manager for global partnerships at Meta. Then we have with us Rimjhim Ray, who is the group CMO at MyOperator and Heyo Phone. And of course, we have Karan, Walia, the co-founder of ShipZip and a proud user of MyOperator's voice and WhatsApp solutions. So to just get started without any further ado, Rachit, I'll give you the stage. You can go ahead and present your screen, and then we'll take that conversation forward from there.
Hey, Sanat. Hi. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can see the screen. Can someone give me permission? Can you guys see the screen?
We can
Yes,
see
we
it.
can. Yeah.
Excellent. Hi, guys. Good morning. My name is Rachit Jain. I work as a strategic partnerships manager here at Meta. I'm based in Gurgaon. So I'd like to thank MyOperator for giving me this opportunity. I think during the next 10-15 minutes, I'm just going to be spending some time on reiterating as to why a lot of brands are relying on channels like WhatsApp to drive customer engagement. And then if maybe this is something that you're not thinking about, how can you leverage WhatsApp as a channel to drive customer engagement? So without any further ado, let me just quickly get on to this deck. More than happy to take your questions as well. If there are any questions, feel free to add in your questions in the chat, or more than happy to answer your questions towards the end of the session. So let's just first understand what is that customers are looking at today and how WhatsApp can sort of be part of this whole new age sort of feedback loop, right? If you look at your consumers today, and then most of this deck that I'm going to be showing it to you today is largely in context of businesses that come with the background of retail, fintech, etc. While some of these use cases could be adopted for different verticals as well, just for the sake of convenience and to assure that we are able to sort of relate to some of these use cases. I have sort of built this tech in context to retail and a bit of fintech, so that all of us are able to sort of relate to what I'm saying. I'm going to be saying in the next 15 minutes. So today, customers are looking for convenient experience for whatever they're looking to purchase. They also want to know in real time, if their favorite SKUs are back in stock. People like you and me, if we bought something online, we would also want a convenient way of returning that product without looking through the entire invoice, etc. Right? And then, because most of us are today on the move most of the time, either at work, traveling because of work, or personal commitments, we don't really want to spend a lot of time deciding what we want to buy. I think in our minds, we want to buy, and then we would want to sort of go ahead and make that decision as opposed to spending a lot of time researching, that this is a product that I need to buy, etc. Right? And then, last but not least, once you've sort of bought your product, you'd want to be able to track this product from anywhere, right? And now you look at WhatsApp. WhatsApp sort of helps you build engagement across these different facades of journey in a much more seamless and in a convenient way. When it comes to creating value, WhatsApp can help you increase your lead generation and increase revenue. It also helps businesses increase their upsell and cross-sell. For instance, if someone is trying to buy a product, a brand can conveniently try and upsell or cross-sell any other SKU along with what the consumer is looking to buy. And because there's a continuous feedback loop, what WhatsApp also helps you with is a lot of increased customer satisfaction. And I sort of want to give a personal example, right? These days you come across a lot of these new age brands, right? A lot of new D2C brands. And then most of these D2C brands are something that you've never even heard of, right? So there was a similar experience that I gotten into. I saw an ad. I was interested in buying t-shirts from that brand, but because I've never really heard about that brand, there was a WhatsApp button on the right. I clicked on that button. I spoke to the customer service executive. That executive helped me narrow it down, to certain SKUs, and then I was able to buy few articles of clothing. It sort of also helped me with increased satisfaction, and then I knew that I am not spending my money on a brand that is non-existent, etc. So a lot of these brands are today also leveraging platform like WhatsApp to drive increased customer satisfaction. Now the best part is, while it helps you increase value, it also sort of helps you bring down a lot of traditional costs. So a lot of costs that are associated with respect to client acquisition, costs that are associated with contact centers or agent, a lot of this can be brought down because a lot of these things can be automated on WhatsApp. So how do we sort of do this, right? Well, if you are on WhatsApp, brands can get some of these metrics, right? When they sort of adopted WhatsApp and then sort of built these different sales journeys on WhatsApp. For instance, when you look at the major cost today for any of these emerging brands, one of the most important costs that they would want to look at is the acquisition cost, right? For a lot of these brands, the cost of acquisition is pretty higher. They'll be spending a lot of money on ads. They'll be spending a lot of money on other channels to acquire users. But because of channels like WhatsApp and the engagement that you're able to build on channels like WhatsApp, brands are able to lower the acquisition cost. Let's say if the user has bought a product, but you still want to re-engage with that user later, either for a cross-sell or an upsell, or just for simple feedback, right? Channel like WhatsApp can further help you improve your re-engagement, right? So, or for instance, let's say I was trying to buy something, but the user didn't pay for it. You can re-engage with the user for a same cart product that they added in cart, and then help them make that decision, right? It also sort of helps in overall agent efficiency. So, a lot of these traditional methods that exist today, which is like large contact centers and a lot of offline agent contact centers, a lot of this can be automated, right? So you could have a simple WhatsApp button, your customers can engage with you on that via that button, and then agent also is sort of informed in real time in terms of what the customers is looking at and how they can help customers. So these are some ways in which how WhatsApp can help you get better engagement for your brand. So now let's just sort of spend about another 5-10 minutes in going through the entire sales cycle. So if you look at the entire sales cycle, for any product or service that you're trying to consume, this would largely have 4 or 5 different steps. But for the sake of standardization, we will look at about 6 steps. These are awareness, discovery, consideration, purchase, post-purchase, and re-engagement. So if you and I are trying to buy any product, the first and the foremost thing is that we like to aware about the product, right? As to if I'm able to see that product, if I'm able to know about the product, if I know how the product functions or how the service functions, right? Or if I've already made up my mind, I want to be informed whether that product is back in stock or not. So one of the ways through which brands can engage with their consumers at scale on a platform like WhatsApp for that specific cohort, which is like awareness, is build a lot of journeys with respect to, let's say, price drop alert, right? Or recommendations for you. For instance, I don't want to name the brand, but there is a very large brand in India that is having their end of reason sale this week. and they are sending proactive recommendations to their consumers, suggesting that last time you bought these SKUs from us, and we have some more articles, and you may be interested in, right? So it's a great way of engaging with your consumers, and then tell them that while you bought this last time, we have some new articles, and you may be interested again in these articles, right? Or building a simple journey like it is back in stock. Let's say I was interested in a product, but it is no longer available on your website. So if you want to engage with your customers on WhatsApp and you want them to be engaging with you, build a journey around it is back in stock, right? So of the 6 steps for the cohort, which is awareness, in which you're going to be going ahead and creating a lot of awareness. These are some examples of how you can get started with respect to few of these journeys, and then go ahead and build these journeys on WhatsApp to drive a lot of engagement. Moving on to next, which is discovery. Now, let's say you're fully aware about what the product is and you're interested, etc. But obviously, you want your consumer to have a lot more understanding about the product, or let's say if they are well versed with a SKU that they want to buy, but they you also want to give them a discount coupon that sort of helps them make that decision, and then move from one stage to other, or maybe give them an option to reserve that product, right? So let's say if it's a product that is only available in a limited quantity, as a brand you can go ahead and create journeys around discount codes, on how do you use your product, or you could reserve a product. For instance, a lot of these brands globally, that sells a lot of sneakers, they have these journeys built on WhatsApp that lets you reserve a pair of sneakers, right? So it's a right way of engaging with consumer, and then also ensuring that your consumers are continuously engaged with you. So they've built journeys in which they send out a push message on WhatsApp, and via that message, people like you and me are able to reserve that SKU, right? So you could have a similar journey built for your specific product or service. You could also have a simple event notification. So let's say the same brand is conducting a sale. You could have a marketing message that can be sent to a cohort of users to drive engagement, telling them that there's an upcoming sale and they could buy their product of their choice in this upcoming sale. Moving on to the next stage, which is like consideration. Again, to build a lot more engagement with your specific users on this, build journeys around, how do I sort of, ensure that I'm able to engage with them in a little better way. So for instance, one of the most easiest example, whenever we're browsing websites or a lot of these digital e-commerce stores these days, we would have a lot of articles that we will add in our wish store, but we will not really buy them. So either we don't need them, or probably we feel the prices are too on the higher side. So you could have simple journeys built for for one of these use cases. For instance, let's say I have you as a brand, you have a e-commerce store. You could have a journey built on WhatsApp that is sending nudges to users and telling them that these were the products that you sort of added to your cart, but you've not purchased. Here's an upcoming sale. You may be interested in buying this SKU, right? So you could have a journey built around this. And let's say once the user has already decided and made up their mind, that yes, I like this product, I like this service, I want to buy this. Create simple journeys, right? Help your users to become a member of your service or a product, right? Help them create their profile on WhatsApp. Help them sign up to your website or to your service on WhatsApp, right? Today, because we also have payments on WhatsApp, which is like natively built in. A lot of these D2C stores, a lot of these emerging brands, you guys can also ask your consumers to pay for your services and products on WhatsApp. So if you have a product that, let's say you're built a marketing journey for, and then user is interested in that product, you could ask them for payment natively within WhatsApp via the solution that we sort of announced about 6 months back. So user can click on that, pay for that product or service via the choice of their app, which could be PhonePe, WhatsApp, Paytm, etc., or a credit card or a debit card. So this is one other way, you can engage with your users and ensure your users are on top of, some of these decisions that they are trying to take for a product or a service that they're wanting to purchase. So now let's say, user made up their mind, they've bought the product. What next, right? To ensure, you're still engaging with your users and users are in touch with you, build journeys around post purchase. This is the most important step in any sales cycle, and I'm sure Karan would sort of also agree to this. So once I've sort of purchased a product or a service, the anxiety sort of kicks in, right? I would obviously want to know, where is my product, right? Is there a way for me to track the delivery of my product, right? Or if I've already received the product but I've not liked it for whatever reason, is there a simpler way for me to arrange a return, right? Or if I want an invoice, is there a way for me to download that invoice in a much more efficient and a simpler manner? So you could have a lot of these journeys built on WhatsApp, and that way you are able to engage with your users once they've availed your product or service. So once all of this is done, and then let's say, which is the most important piece, and which is what I sort of talked about when I started this conversation, that WhatsApp also helps a lot of these brands to bring down their cost of acquisition, right? Because the platform is so powerful, you're able to re-engage with your existing users, and you're also able to re-engage with a lot of these users that may have interacted with you or you've interacted with them in past. So you could have a lot of journeys built for these users. So you could have a simpler journey, like let's say product of the week, right? Or you could give them a personal consultancy, or you could give them a very timed or a curated coupon, or give them an option to redeem loyalty points. So, think of some of these journeys that you can build that will further help you sort of build a lot more engagement with your users, once they sort of made that decision. This will also sort of ensure that you completed that complete feedback loop. So I think just to sort of end this conversation, a lot of places where a lot of brands fail, and which is what I've been sort of trying to tell for the past 10 minutes, is look at WhatsApp today to build journeys across this entire sales funnel, as opposed to maybe creating a journey on one very specific for one specific cohort. So you may start with awareness, but please don't stop at awareness. Please also ensure that you have a journey that is talking to the journey that you've built in the awareness cohort, and then you have a journey for consideration, purchase, post-purchase, and re-engagement. That way, you are able to really leverage the true power of WhatsApp, and you're able to engage with your consumers, and likewise, your consumers are able to engage with you in a much more richer and a proficient manner. So I'm just going to stop here now. I'm more than happy to sort of take questions now or later, towards the later of the session. Thanks, Anil.
Thank you so much, Rachit. I'm sure people will eventually ask their questions. They've in fact started falling in. But I have a couple of questions from my side, based on what you were saying. That you mentioned journey word almost every, say, 30 seconds, that you have to create a journey for this particular thing or particular step. So what do we mean by setting up a journey? I think we need to simplify that for the audience over there.
Okay, that's a very great question, right? So let me give you an example. Let's say you're a very small brand, and you may want to look at channel like WhatsApp for reaching out to a lot more users to build audience for your product or for service, right? While that may be the right thing to do, but a lot many times these brands will not be able to really drive engagement if they were to only sort of stop at looking at WhatsApp just as a marketing tool, right? So what I mean by journey is that, let's say the same brand may want to have a marketing journey, but also please then also think about how are you creating the entire complete loop. For instance, you are reaching out to your existing customers, or you are reaching out to new prospects via marketing messages, and let's say you are intimating or you're notifying them about a new product or a service. Once you've notified about the product or a service, don't stop there. Think about what the user may want after that. So a user may want to talk to you if you think your brand can afford a contact center or an agent, ensure that you have a live agent to answer some of these queries on WhatsApp. Or, there are a lot of these automated platforms that can create bots in real time and have a bot that can answer some of these frequently asked questions, right, in real time. Once you've created that, the next step could, if the consumer likes that product or the service, they may want to buy that product. So build that option also on WhatsApp. So now what you're doing is that you're not stopping at a marketing message by just simply by telling user that you may be interested in this product or the service, but what you're also doing is you're taking care of frequently asked questions. You're also giving them an option to buy that product, and then also once they've bought that product, you're giving them an option to track that product or service. So this is what I mean by full journey. Just don't stop at one part of one part of the journey. Build the entire complete funnel, and if you do that, then the engagement that you get on WhatsApp is far higher and rewarding than to a lot of these other channels that exist in the marketplace.
Sounds about right there. So what basically we mean by journeys then is that we do not have to stop at just one aspect of the entire feedback loop. You have to go through the entire awareness till towards the end, post purchase engagement. One question on which Rimjhim might also pick your brain is coming from WhatsApp or the solution providers, like you are from Meta, Rimjhim's from MyOperator. Do you guys endorse complete automation of a business using methodologies like WhatsApp and voice and chatbots, or is there still a human angle at play that businesses must consider?
Well, that's a very good question, right? So, Sanjay, I think it really sort of boils down to what kind of product or service as a brand you're trying to promote on WhatsApp. So let me give you an example, right? So let's say if it is a very large e-commerce brand, right? They may choose to have a live agent because they know, that at their scale, they just cannot rely on automation, right? Or they may want to automate 90% of the work, but they also know that there's a part of this whole feedback loop that may not be automated, right? So for instance, let's say you're trying to sell appliances online. Now, if I'm trying to buy, let's say, a new air conditioner, I may want to know, what is the cooling capacity of this AC, how many electricity units this AC will consume in a year, which brand, who will service this, who will provide installation, etc. All of this can be automated, and I think it is good if we can automate all of this. But I may want to choose, I may want to speak to the service agent to see if there is any coupons available or discount coupons available for me to buy this product, right? Or, if I'm spending a lot of money on buying a product, I may want to speak to the service agent to see if there is a way for them to expedite the delivery of the product, right? Or help me compare two products, right? So for these use cases, I think it makes a lot of sense to have an agent in place. But let me give you another example, right? Let's say a large insurance aggregator, right? Let's say you bought a policy from them for health insurance, and now you need health insurance, right? God forbid, you ended up in a situation where you want your health insurance policy. There, you may not want to talk to an agent, right? And then go through the entire upsell or cross-sell pitch, right? You just want your policy real quick, right? And so that you're able to take care of your near and dear ones and able to focus on your real business as opposed to spending time talking to that guy. There, you may want to automate the entire journey, right? It could be as simple as sending hi to a policy aggregator, and then the policy aggregator replying back, "Hi, Sanal. I know why you've reached out, and this is your policy, and here's the policy paper, and these are the list of approved hospitals, etc." So in this case, automation makes sense, but there, you think, you may need a human angle, and because the product or the purchase or the service that you're providing is relatively a higher ticket item, there you may choose to have an agent.
Human intervention over there. Rimjhim, you are also you're the best person to talk about high ticket, low ticket, both at the same time, given you are taking care of Heyo phone and MyOperator under the same umbrella. So how does this equation work well with you, the human plus automation one?
I'll give you three aspects here, on which this depends. One, as Rachit rightly said, is the business size. and complexity. Second is the segment you're serving. And third is the level of technology that you have. So, so again, giving an example between Heyo and MyOperator. And Heyo, about 85% of my customer queries are automated. We already have a Gen AI bot deployed there in app within Heyo. If any of you are Heyo users here, it's a multilingual bot that is able to answer questions across. And it's again, Heyo is a very simple product. So 85% of the questions can be automated. It's self-serve, etc., etc. On MyOperator, also we have a Gen AI-driven bot. We do not have it on WhatsApp. We have it on our Crisp chat. There also the percentages of chats being handled by the automated agent has been steadily growing. Though MyOperator is a much more complex product, and that is where the third angle comes into play, is the technology that I'm deploying. With generative AI coming into picture, the percentage of queries that automation will handle is going to become larger. If you have seen the ChatGPT 04 release, we're talking about human-like voice or, human-like behavior. So that comfort of a person, comfort of a consumer or a user talking to an automated agent and getting human-like replies, as long as that comfort increases, as long as your ages, you have sufficient amount of data, you have deployed the right LLM models, leverage the right algorithms to answer most of their questions in a human-like fashion. The percentage of queries that an automated agent answers for, even if your brand is complex, that steadily goes up. So we had recently deployed an automated bot for one of our D2C brands, Darkest. It's a chocolate brand. And if you go to the website, you will see it. It's kind of in pilot there. And if you see the product discovery that bot is helping me do, it's kind of mind-boggling. I tried it yesterday. I said, ship it to Calcutta, etc., etc. If I didn't know that we had built it, I'd have said, there's a real human agent chatting with me. So, of course, the segment and the business complexity matters, as rightly said by Rachit. But as the technology improves, with generative AI, I think AI has gone to a whole new game. From AI being just a supporter, AI has now become an enabler. And I'm saying this with a lot of conviction because we have rolled out this bot. We've seen them in action. We've seen the kind of power of automation they've brought to our teams. We have been able to streamline the teams, probably move humans to better work, or take them off from routine queries. And I think this is the future. Even larger and larger brands, we are looking. Even the largest brands like say a HDFC or an Amazon or a Big Basket, we work with many of them. They're looking at more automation to make their obviously streamline the workforce so that obviously humans can focus on more productive tasks, and B, so even improve the customer experience, because see the beauty of automation is it can be 24/7, right?
Right.
And with huge amounts of data, right? You take away the need for human training. You need away the for a person to know it all. It's a machine plus data. That kind of brings the power of a 24/7 consistent customer experience to your brand.
But you are also the, I would say, the evangelist of voice as a very big medium, right? At MyOperator, of course. The entire webinar that we are talking about is voice plus WhatsApp. So the Gen AI part and the automation part definitely covers the WhatsApp and related bit of things. But what about voice? Talking from MyOperator angle now, let me reframe it. From MyOperator angle, what are capabilities do we have as a business owner using MyOperator to bring this voice plus WhatsApp together?
All right. First of all, let me debunk a myth. Gen AI is not WhatsApp. Gen AI is not chat. It is medium agnostic. If you recollect what I said, ChatGPT 04 talks about speaking in a human-like voice. You had seen Sundar Pichai's release last year, or was it a year before, when they rolled out Google's voice assistant, which basically enabled a salon booking. You're not speaking to a person, simulated a person's voice, and it was talking to you. So again, AI and automation is medium agnostic. Obviously, WhatsApp makes it easier because of the great interface and all the plugins and the automation that you can build on it. But yes, communication is going to remain multi-channel. While WhatsApp is going to take a large percentage of it, especially in India and emerging economies, voice continues to be a very important medium, as also other chats, say for example a Facebook chat. People reach out to your Facebook Messenger or Google My Business, etc., etc. Now, how do I see a voice playing a role? See, obviously, the first thing is, we being sitting at the center of all communication. I see myself as an omni-channel communication gateway. We're seeing as a setting, we have an access to enormous amount of data. Enormous amount of voice data, so even on Heyo, we process over 1 million calls, and MyOperator, the number of calls is easily 10 times higher. Right now, we are already enabling thousands of WhatsApp messages, and with the WhatsApp vision that we are working very closely with Meta on, this 1,000, the way we see that number also kind of 10xing in the next 1 year or so. So we're sitting in the middle of that humongous amount of data, voice, WhatsApp, chat, etc. And we are in a unique position to obviously build the conversational automation on top of it. So obviously we have, through IVR or voice bots is one level of automation, right? So where, we work with companies like Lenskart, for example, for something as simple, say, as a location-based routing to handling more complex queries via voice. The same automation. Now it's the same customer profile, whether you have reached out to me on call, whether you have reached out to me on WhatsApp, you're the same person. I have your phone number. That is your digital business identity. As someone with that phone number, because I have your data, I'm able to meaningfully leverage that data, of course, with all the right amount of privacy policies, etc. We're very very conscientious about that. We are able to now weave that all together, weave that data all together, and serve you automation across all the media. So that is where, I see our communication gateway, which sits on top of media and focuses on the most important media of the day, call plus WhatsApp. We have a unique advantage, data leverage, customer leverage, serving already thousands of customers. And a knowledge base which is building up, where we are building, we're already talking of building vertical bots for specific industries. So that kind of knowledge base of the data we have, we are uniquely kind of positioned to serve each of our customers a very personalized experience that they can use to deliver better customer service to their end users.
It makes sense. I think then MyOperator is definitely in a very good place, with all the history and legacy of voice communication, one of the first in various sectors of launching solutions related to voice. And then now, of course, leading the WhatsApp game as well. Karan, there is this since we have talked about the solution providers, I think this is where we talk about the solution takers also. And one of the very reasons that we brought you onto this webinar today was we want to let people know that all of this conversation around WhatsApp and MyOperator and voice plus WhatsApp communication is actually real. It is happening for businesses, and you as a business owner can tell. So let's just take a moment to talk about what do you do and what is your company ShipZip all about, and then how you are leveraging this voice plus WhatsApp architecture.
Sure. Hi, Sanath. Thanks for giving us the opportunity. So I'll give you a quick background on what we do. So I think if my screen is visible to you guys.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned, so we are a marketplace, logistics marketplace, working with all major e-coms and large conglomerates across East, Northeast, and Southern India. We started off in 2019, primarily focusing on supply chain development for major e-com players. And later on, we see the shift happening with omni-channel and, players like Jio entered into the space. So just like what Amazon Web Services do, they offer you an infrastructure to, perform better application and services. ShipZip on the same side, have, the delivery, distribution, and fulfillment ecosystem offering to its clients. So as we can see, what consumers these days want, they want faster deliveries, hassle-free returns. And on the other side, companies on the other front, looking to, downsize the supply chain cost and at the same time, account for the experiences that they want to do it. So that's what we are bridging the gap in between. So like I mentioned, we are a marketplace. So we have, enterprises on the demand side, and, we have suppliers, coming with variety of warehouses, fulfillment centers, fleet owners, who are basically attaching their fleets with us. Those are the kind of people who work us on the supplier side. I will not take much of the discussion in detail. Just wanted to give you a quick background on that. The range of services that we offer, are pretty much standard. So we do first mile, last mile services. we do fulfillment, and we do cross-docking distribution network as well. This is what we do. So if you have a premises which basically asks you, to provide us vans and delivery associates, we do have delivery associates. And then, like I mentioned, we do the full truckload movement through mid-mile, and then we have the distribution center. So in the middle of our business model, there's a piece that we have sort of worked out with both voice and WhatsApp. So I'll just give you a problem statement of what we were initially doing. So initially, we had an onboarding team which used to go out and scout for vehicles all across different multiple locations. So there used to be a field sales force, sort of trying to partner with vehicle owners and different variety of fleets across the country. And on the other side, on the digital side, we had our own website where people used to come out and fill out the inquiry forms. Now, the entire problem that we were having it out here, there was no sanitized process. Like, how do we basically ensure that the entire onboarding process is streamlined? Because on one front, we were getting so much inquiries through voice, and people used to call up and say, I have got so much amount of fleet in this location, I would like to attach with ShipZip. How do I go about it? Then there was a certain set of audiences coming on through social media and on website. So this entire chaos was going around. So we needed to figure out the funnel and ensure that this is not getting lost somewhere. So what we did a couple of months back, we onboarded, partnered with MyOperator. So that is where we took the IVR so that users can basically call, to subscribe to ShipZip, services. And eventually, what I also thought, it would be great if we could basically map it with WhatsApp bot. So let's say in case the agent is failing to pick up the call, the user calling us would basically get an automated text saying that, hey, did you call up? What was your need? So this is where it goes around. So on the left-hand side, if you see, we have a WhatsApp bot. I'll just play around to, ensure that the way it works. So you could basically say in hi to the user, and, it just gives you two options, whether you're looking out for a vehicle attachment or logistics services. If the user says they want to attach the vehicle, then they select the category of vehicles that they want to attach with us. At the end of the day, once this in feed comes to us, we basically then vet them on certain areas. So on the step 3 stage, if you see, the people start, putting out their driving licenses, RC, vehicle photographs, different variety of things that we ask for. And on the stage 4, if you see, the contracting is done. So then, once we see that the user is fit to, join with us, we send him a contract, he signs up and sends back to us. This entire chain is now getting captured on the platform itself. We are nowhere, getting it somewhere else. This is completely automated. In fact, it has reduced us a lot of dependency on, again, fueling from online leads to, converting it back to, the real, people who would come back and work with us. So this is one of the use cases, and we have pretty much downsized almost like 25 to 30% of our cost, currently in terms of doing that. The next stage that I mentioned, earlier also in one of our discussions, that we are trying to now map it with Vahan, which is Governments of India portal, to, do the sanitization and check on these documents. So if that can get automated, that leg is still in the process. So this is where we have used this use case in our business.
Fabulous. I think this makes it very easy for people to understand whatever Rachit and Rimjhim have been saying so far. Rimjhim, if you want to add something to it, because you are the actual providers behind all of this, that how can most other people also do it?
Right. Thanks. Thanks, Karan, for that great explanation. I'm a big fan of ShipZip, again, Kolkata-based company, and doing wonders in the logistics chain in a very kind of fundamentally strong business model. I just wanted to give a little bit of a genesis, behind this use case and how are you applying it for more customers. So, when Karan and I met about a couple of months back, I think 2-3 months back, we kind of discussed this use case, talked over coffee, and, the MyOperator obviously has been predominantly known as a voice provider. And Karan said, we talked, and Karan essentially talked to me about a voice solution, and then he described his problem. that, this is not, obviously people call me up, but then they also have to send documents, etc., etc. So I said, oh, this is a great opportunity for a voice plus WhatsApp solution. So you can build an entire feedback loop. So that's a couple of hours of brainstorming that we did as founders, and this kind of solution emerged out of it. And then I think it was less than a week in which we obviously, WhatsApp makes it very super easy to, build customizations. We have got a great customization team so in-house, and we worked on top of it, understood the use case, and then implemented it. Now, this is also the genesis of two of the products that we launched, rolled out in the last 1 year. One is XCOM, which we talk about as extended communication. And this is being rolled out to more and more of our customers. If you go to myoperator.com and check out the products in the menu, you will learn more about XCOM, but I just tell you in kind of 2-3 lines what it is. Essentially, what Karan is using. So XCOM, in XCOM, we talk about that, as I said in my last answer also, you are basically communicating across various channels. So as a salesperson, you're talking to a customer. You might want to send them a payment link after it. You might want to send them a feedback link after it. You might ask them for more documents, as Karan's use case was. So with this call plus WhatsApp communication, it enables you to do exactly that. As soon as your call ends, a customized automated message, an entire chatbot can be triggered based on the templates that you have set up with our help. That can be triggered to your customers, and the feedback loop can be closed. So we talk about moving from just a conversation to actually closing, say, a payment, or in this case, a supplier onboarding, or even feedback, with the help of the call plus WhatsApp loop. So moving from just conversation to an entire conversational commerce, and that is the future we are talking about. We are talking about the entire commerce. I think Rachit's presentation covered it beautifully. We are talking about entire commerce happening on conversation. And with India, which is predominantly a call plus chat kind of a country, you can add a WhatsApp layer to all the calls and make that call complete, make that action emanating from that call complete. So that is one. The other product I want to talk about, we also rolled out something called Omni Campaigner, which enables you to have outreach with your customers across media, call, SMS, WhatsApp, and aggregates their data to give you complete reports, build up customer profiles, and which again, kind of serves your campaigns across the complementary platform. So if I've run for example, if I've run a campaign on voice, I got certain feedback, I can utilize that feedback to run, further campaigns on WhatsApp, etc. So when I open up multiple touch points, the touch points are for your customers to choose. Someone might prefer voice, someone might prefer SMS, a lot of people might prefer WhatsApp. Me being at the center of that touch point, we are uniquely kind of positioned to enable you to reach out to your end users via the touch point that they prefer. So that means your coverage increases, your customer engagement increases, and finally, which is kind of the goal of every business, that is your revenue increases. So we are here to obviously not just help you boost your conversations, but your customer engagement and your commerce. I'm happy that we could do it for ShipZip, like I said, great company to work with, and happy that we are doing it for others through our, call plus WhatsApp loops.
Definitely, that's actually something that you mentioned, which a lot more people should talk about, I feel, is that end of the day, we should improve revenue. That is the last mile in terms of current industry, last mile delivery. That is the last mile delivery for every business. Revenue पे कितना फर्क पड़ा है, बाकी तो सब ठीक है. It's good marketing, good visibility, looking very nice that you're using a chatbot, fabulous work. But how does it affect revenue? And I'm sure this is reflecting in Karan's revenue as well. It is increasing manifold. Karan, before I move on to the other questions that people have posed, I just want to understand from you, for the sake of audience, that as MyOperator as a platform, how easy or how good, or what's your review of the platform as a whole, as a consumer, that you have been using it for so long?
My experience has been that, earlier when I had discussed with Rimjhim, we brainstormed it and we were like trying to figure it out how it would eventually all come together. But we saw that happening in the span of less than 7 days. That's what one of my feedback, it was quick to go around. We did the training, and like I mentioned, there are other features which I could not cover in the presentation. So this is the one side which is funneled by inbound. There's another side that we do outbound is, when we scout for vehicles, let's say any location, now we have a database where we have asked our existing suppliers also to come on board. when we scout for vehicles, we trigger a campaign saying that, okay, these are the set of vehicles our ex client is requiring in this location. How many of do you have it? So this also fuels back, a lot of time saving efficiency in that way. So my personal belief is that with MyOperator, since they have, both the products, both voice and WhatsApp, it eventually binds your business use case. So all you need to do is figure it out. What is your problematic statement and how do you see that happening? In fact, some of my clients that we have been working in D2C space are also built with WhatsApp, so they have a complete bot which completely works on the same frame. And Calcutta, in the Calcutta market, they have also launched Heyo, which is a product which is appealing to all the mom and pop stores and retailers at a very cost-effective price. I think it's a game-changing situation with such kind of service providers in this kind of Indian market, because WhatsApp plus voice is the future in country like India. Because we can't automate completely. There's some human intervention which is again needed. So I think we are sitting at a very sweet spot in this regard.
Right. Which makes sense. And automation has come back to the conversation. So I'll take questions now, out of which let me pick up from chat first. I have this one question, which is from Robin asking, please tell how to do automation chatbot. Rachit, would you like to take this one? How to do automation?
Yeah, sure.
I think a very straightforward question, but not a simple answer.
Yeah, I think, well, I'm not the subject matter expert, but I think, Robin, I think an easy way to go about building some of this automation on WhatsApp is to first figure out the area within your organization or the journey that you would like to automate. So, for instance, that you get a lot of queries once the people have procured your product or service. I think it is a good idea to start there. By that I mean, I'm sure you will have a lot of common existing questions that your users may want to know, have an answer for post they've made, purchase of that service or product. So start there. There are a lot of these existing platforms that are able to help you automate some of these bots and have these bots ready in no time. So start there, and then once you've got a hang of it and your users are able to get a hang of it, also see if you're able to build a lot more automation around some of the commonly things such as inquiring about the status of the order, tracking the shipments, when the order will be delivered, if there is a way for you to also incorporate if user is looking to return the product or a service, if there is a way for you to automate all of that. So start with frequently asked questions and then gradually bring in the other aspects of the post purchase, which is tracking shipments, delivery, returns and stuff like that.
Fair enough. And I think a follow-up question is from Preshai's word, sorry, is क्या multiple languages में chatbot तैयार होता है? The answer to that will be yes.
Yes. So WhatsApp is vernacular. We support up to 14 languages. You can have the bot in any of these 14 languages. In fact, a lot of these large financial institutions in country, they have bots that are built on WhatsApp, which are built on vernacular. So you can talk to these bots or interact with these bots not only in English but also in Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, and some other languages. So yeah, yes, you can do that.
Fair enough. That answers that question. Rimjhim, I have a couple of questions for you. I'm currently using SMS Blast for offer and update messages. Is it worth switching to WhatsApp?
All right. So, the answer is not very simple. So one is yes, because, WhatsApp definitely has a higher, open rate, read rate, conversion rate, click-through rates. That is true. But on the other hand, if you are using, just one thing you need to be cognizant of that Meta has been kind of saying very, very strongly is user privacy. So make sure that when you're sending WhatsApp, you're sending to opt-in users or opt-in lists. Because if you're not sending to opt-in lists, then, your spam score may go up and eventually your WhatsApp account will suffer. So that is something that Meta enforces, and we are kind of aligned with them that, you do not spam using WhatsApp. But yes, for, offers, personalized offers, etc., to your customer base or to your opt-in base or your prospect base, WhatsApp is a better tool in terms of the deliverability, in terms of the open rate, and in terms of, for sure, the click-through actions, which is what you finally want the users to take.
Fair enough. And another question for MyOperator only would be, can I run my WhatsApp and MyOperator IVR on same number?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. That's what we have done, right? We have centralized the communication. And I think that's the most powerful thing that we provide, that we are giving you one digital identity, one phone number, which your customers need to remember or know you by. And on that phone number, your call and WhatsApp is integrated, so that you have one customer experience touch point. Single number, either they call on that number for IVR or they send the WhatsApp message on that. So it's a consistent customer experience that you're creating.
Fair enough. I have couple of more questions only. One is from Sandeep, how it's different from WhatsApp API bot. I don't understand what's the bot
Bot
for,
or
but
bot?
bot, I think
Yeah.
is what they want to say. So how is it different from WhatsApp API bot? I don't think it is. We are talking about WhatsApp API only when we are discussing voice plus WhatsApp, and when we have these sort of webinars at WhatsApp Wednesdays. We're talking about WhatsApp API only, Sandeep. And I think the last question is from Ashwini, which I think I would like Rachit's and even Karan's take on this, that if we don't know how to create workflow, how can we proceed? Rachit, how do we do that if we don't know how to do it?
Bring in a subject matter expert, please, that can help you build the entire journey end to end. So while WhatsApp is a platform that helps you relay relevant information to your consumers at scale, the true power lies in how efficiently you're able to really use a channel like WhatsApp. And as an organization, if you really don't know where to get started, bring in a partner, bring in a subject matter expert who understands the platform, who probably has worked in your industry and knows, what are some of these use cases that can be built on WhatsApp. Start there and then start to expand on that as you sort of move forward. I think that's the right thing to do.
I think somebody like MyOperator can help with this. Whenever we want to set up something like WhatsApp and you don't know how to get started, providers like WhatsApp can definitely help. Karan, I want your angle on this, that as a consumer, because now that you are already using it and you said that you started off in less than a week, how easy or convenient as a business owner it is to set up your flows on WhatsApp, do that customization by yourself?
I would say, since we have both the interfaces, with MyOperator and one with my WhatsApp business account, so it is pretty easier, to go around. So we got couple of trainings, from MyOperator team on how to set up campaigns for WhatsApp, and specifically we also got training for MyOperator as well. So depending on your use cases and how you want to use it, it can be easily done with the backend, the system that is available to us. And we've been fairly using it as per our requirement.
Fair enough. All right, so we are done with these questions. I have one last question from my side, which is a question I wanted to ask when we decided this topic will be done, once I have you on board. And I would like all three of you to chip into it, primarily Rachit and Rimjhim, that because of almost an entire new industry coming out of WhatsApp, that is WhatsApp commerce. We started with e-commerce when websites came in. We went from retail shops to the internet. And now we are coming from internet to the mobile devices like WhatsApp. So is website going to be an obsolete thing, and more businesses should now start figuring out their stuff around WhatsApp? Or there is still 5 to 10 years before that happens? Rachit, what's your take on that?
So it is real, Sanad. This is happening. It is not 5 to 10 years away. It is already happening. And the most surprising thing is that it is not happening just with large enterprises from different verticals, but it is also happening primarily for a lot of these small businesses. I think when you look at small businesses, they don't want to have a website that they need to maintain. They don't want to have any other online presence. They don't want to work with a payment provider that can help them settle payments for their respective products and services. for all these businesses, WhatsApp becomes a very powerful channel. And in fact, if you look at our SMB app, not just the API, there also we've introduced slew of features such as marketing messages, payments, and stuff like that. That helps a lot of these small and mid-sized businesses to leverage a platform like WhatsApp app, and that can sort of become a digital storefront for them. And then we are also now in process of bringing a lot of these features on API. For a lot of these large banks, for a lot of these other large brands, as I said before, they're also going WhatsApp first. So I'm sure you would have seen a lot of holdings across different cities in India, wherein a lot of these banks, they're actively promoting, the services that are available on WhatsApp. And the reason why they're doing that is because they also know that this is where the users are, and this is a channel that users continue to use throughout the day. So it makes a lot more sense for them to be really active and relevant on that channel. So they've brought, for instance, in case of a large bank, they've brought all basically that is available today on their app can now also be done on WhatsApp. And then with features like flows and stuff like that, a lot of this will increase as we move forward. So the shift is real, it is happening, and it is definitely not something that is 5 to 10 years away. It is happening now.
Friendship, would you like to chip in?
Yeah, so I really like Ankit to be on this show, our co-founder, CEO, and this is one of his more strong power bets, and we have endless amount of debates and discussions on this. That websites are, kind of going to, if not become obsolete, at least less relevant in the next 2-3 years, and commerce is increasingly becoming conversational. And especially in, countries like India or emerging economies, there's a beauty of being a laggard in some sense. You can technically leapfrog, right? So India adopted mobile at a faster pace than many developed countries because we didn't have the landline concentration. So similarly, India is adopting mobile and mobile commerce, conversational commerce, or WhatsApp commerce faster probably than developed countries because again they're more invested in their websites, etc. But in a country like in our country, especially with ONDC coming in, I think every brand, and this is one of my power line that I like to make. Every brand today is potentially a direct-to-customer brand. It's not just the D2C brands that we hear about with multiple levels of valuation. Every brand, even a boutique, in your nearby locality is essentially a direct-to-customer brand. ONDC is kind of enabling that amount of reach, right? So obviously WhatsApp commerce or chat-based commerce, which is faster, easier, something probably more accessible, especially when you're supporting vernacular languages, etc. This is something that is going to probably become the most important, form of commerce that we talk about in the next 5 years. There is a very good report on from BCG, that if you can just look it up, which talks about the conversational commerce becoming a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it talks about emerging economies playing a very important role in it. So to kind of again answer it in one line, every brand potentially is a direct-to-customer brand, and customers are increasingly going on taking the conversational route with you, with WhatsApp, etc., making it super easy. Obviously, then the experience become easier. Then your customers also start shifting the channels. Websites will remain as they are essential discovery channels. Your Google traffic, etc., still works there. But a lot of your transaction conversation experience will shift to chat and WhatsApp. So that's our bet too.
Makes sense. So final take, Karan, as again, a user only, you were ideally initially on website, then very recently you have moved on to integrating WhatsApp with that as well. How have things shifted? How has interaction changed between website and WhatsApp now?
So like, Rimjhim mentioned, commerce is getting conversational. I think that is what we are experiencing right now. So there is a focus that WhatsApp brings it, to, very, very defined audience with specific set of, takes. And it's also very easier for them to get addressed and all. There's an entire machinery, if you look out your business process, not just from marketing standpoint of view, but I have seen a lot of other brands, just not doing WhatsApp bot as a marketplace and not doing the website, because that is one reason, the conversions will happen now with UPI also coming into the picture. payments can get through it. So I see this is where the future is happening, and it's happening right now. Just that businesses need to, come up with the use cases and, define it. For example, with a lot of courier companies, I see that they can basically, get rid of websites and put up a tracking number on the bot itself where they can figure it out where the package is currently happening and, do you need further assistance on that? So that tool itself can get automated on the WhatsApp bot itself. So likewise in supply chain, I've seen a lot of other use cases which can happen. And this should be happening, makes both lives easier for suppliers as well as for clients. And this is where we should focus upon.
Fair. All right. So in dearth of time, there are a couple of questions, but we can take them offline with these people directly. However, thank you so much everyone for joining in. Rachit, Rimjhim, and Karan, it was a great pleasure talking to you guys. Very interesting conversation. I think we answered quite a lot of interesting questions today, and people would have loved this conversation for sure. I think we'll get to know that after this session is done when we send the feedback message again on WhatsApp only, but we'll eventually get to know that. So thank you so much, guys, for falling in, and lovely meeting you all.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yeah, bye.